How they hangin' dino dudes? It's me, the Media Raptor, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Media Raptor Reviews. Today, you guys, we're gonna not take a look at a superhero movie. We're gonna take a look at a movie that, when I first saw the trailer, I got really excited for because I thought this is a unique, interesting idea, and I recently got a chance to see, and it did not disappoint. It's a crime thriller. I think this might be one of the very first ones I've ever actually talked about on this channel, for the new movie, Hotel Artemis. Or as I accidentally called it, Hotel Artemis, because I didn't understand how to pronounce it. So, yeah, Hotel Artemis, it just came out. It's a fairly new movie. But I'm going to give it credit, it's a good movie. For those of you who don't know what the story is about, long story short, you guys know how in John Wick there's the Continental, which is the hotel where all the hitmen can get together and hang out. And, you know, like, in between contracts, like, they can stay here, eat, sleep, but they have rules like you can't kill people, you can't do business, you can't, so on and so forth. Pretty much that's what Hotel Artemis is, but a hospital, sort of. Essentially what's happened is it's the year 2028, and idiots have decided to privatize water, because, hey, yeah, Americans, you're kind of stupid that way. You never really think, is this going to go badly? One example of that, just look at the 2016 election. You guys are really stupid, actually. So I need to get that out. And I will never talk about politics again. I'm sorry, that's one of my rules. You don't talk about politics. But essentially, there's no water. And riots are going berserk. Everyone's out for themselves. And then we end up with the Hotel Artemis. Essentially, it's run by Jodie Foster and, of all people, Dave Bautista. And the two of them essentially run a hotel and a hospital for criminals. And, of course, we have three criminals there already. Well, one of them is the guy we meet at the beginning. He shows up. He and his brother show up after a failed heist. And essentially, they kind of, well, they get dragged into it. And then, of course, the biggest, the worst, the meanest crime lord, I guess is the best way to put it, in all of LA just has to show up that same night. So, of course, you kind of got to realize that it's not going to end well. Like, let's just be honest. Anytime you have a hotel where, a hotel, a place, a building, where bad people can meet up, but there are rules against doing bad things, you know those rules are going to be broken. And this movie, smartly, does not constantly be like, are they going to break the rules or not? It's much more, essentially this whole movie, it's like a time bomb, just slowly counting down to when you know it's gonna get bad. And it does, and it is really entertaining. I loved the characters in this movie. They're not the deepest, not the most well-fleshed out characters. They're not like, oh, you're gonna care so much for them. But one thing that they did that was very unique and very interesting was with Jodie Foster's character, literally known as just the nurse. Essentially, she has extreme anxiety for going outside. Like, she is borderline physically incapable of making herself go outside. And this also has to do with acting, but I'll get to that in a minute. The few times, like the spoiler alert here, by the way, the two times when she has to go outside, it's a really well done scene because the character clearly has not been outside in years and is happier that way. It's an interesting character dynamic that I don't think is really ever touched on in films, let alone a crime thriller. So that's a unique idea. Also, Dave Bautista, I love Everest in this movie. He's essentially the bodyguard. He has a couple really good lines, and he's just likable. I don't know why. I think it's just Dave Bautista. Everything the guy does is just a likable character. The two brothers who are there, their situation makes sense. They have an interesting dynamic. I don't really want to spoil it because that would give away a big chunk of the movie, but it's believable and it's well written. We have a French female assassin, and of course all I could think about was Widowmaker the entire time, because if you're gonna have a female assassin, don't make her French anymore, people. That cliche is kind of dead. Especially now because we have essentially a giant smurf who does that with a sniper rifle in a video game with a talking monkey, a time-traveling lesbian British girl, and a cyborg ninja. I'm not knocking Overwatch, it's one of my favorite games. I'm just saying, maybe moving forward, go for like a German female assassin, or a Jamaican female assassin, or a Canadian female assassin, Just imagine that. What they are through sniper rifle? Alright, buddy. You ready to go out in a boot? And then they find out, oh wait, the healthcare is free, so they'll be taken care of. Wait, what was I talking about? Man, I really got off topic there. The characters are good. They're fine. I really like I think my two favorite characters, to be honest, would be, well, the Wolf King, who is the main, like, character, like, the big bad guy, the big drug lord, the big crime lord, played by Jeff Goldblum. And, well, the character's name was known as Acapulco. He's played by Charlie Day, the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but I know him as the crazy scientist guy from Pacific Rim. Those two guys, it's not just because they had the funniest lines, it's just they were, I don't know what was about them, I just kind of found myself kind of leaning towards them and like, I like these guys. They're both nuts, but I like them. And I think part of what makes this movie so good is the acting is great. There is not a single bad actor, and there were some shockingly big names in this. Jodie Foster is the nurse. Sophia Boutella, I have no idea who that is. Let me just check that. Oh! She was the mummy. She was Ahmanet in the new Mummy movie. Didn't realize that. Would have made more jokes about that then. She was good in that movie, though. The movie itself was meh, but she was good in that movie. Dave Bautista, like I said, we all know him as Drax. Great guy. Sterling K. Brown, great actor. Jeff Goldblum, need I say more? He's Jeff Goldblum, and therefore everything he does is entertaining. Even when he's playing a dinosaur-loving, socially awkward scientist, or a smooth, slick, terrifying crime lord. One that you know you do not want to mess with. Okay, I'll stop now. And, like, Zachary Quinto's in this movie. Yeah, Spock from the Star Trek remake movies is in this movie. Charlie Day, and that's just to mention a few of them. And those are the ones I recognize right off the top of my head. I'm just kind of digging through real quick to see if there's anyone else I recognize. Nope. Anyhow. So the movie, it's well written. It gets the job done. It's a short movie. It's only an hour and a half compared to most, like, 2.5-hour movies nowadays. So it very much just sets up the conflict, sets up a couple little plot threads, gets it all going, and wraps it all up. And an ending that is both satisfying, and yet I kinda don't get. But let's just wait for Fallon Flicks to make an ending explain and he'll probably figure it out. The movie itself, above all though, is entertaining, and that's what's important. The action scenes are very well shot, they're longer shots, which is always nice. The camera can be shaky at times, but that's not really anything that's gonna ruin a movie, for me at least. It's not like Blair Witch levels of shaky, but it's also not like steady cam on the entire thing. And even then, I think an action scene does have to have a little bit of shaky cam, otherwise it can almost be kind of boring, you know? I think the shaky cam kind of gives some life to the movie. As weird as that sounds, that's just what I think, and yeah, I have done filmmaking before, so I do kind of know what I'm talking about there. But that looks weird. Yeah, music is well done, it's all well edited, well lit. If I had to have any real complaint with the movie, one, I kind of feel like I would have loved to have known more about the history of this hotel. They do imply some things with both the nurse, with Everest, with these characters. They kind of imply they've been here for over 20 years, so even maybe before even I was born, but they don't really talk about it. I don't know, and I'm not saying like we need a prequel movie, or like we need flashbacks. I'm just saying maybe a little bit more, even if it's just like casual dialogue, would have worked. I don't know, maybe a comic series could be cool. They're making a TV show based off the Continental from John Wick. So I wouldn't say go and make a TV show, because it'll probably get overshadowed by, you know, a TV show about John Wick, or at least the world of John Wick. But my point still stands. At least I think it does. So, the best way to describe Hotel Artemis is creative, original, sort of, at least compared to most movies nowadays. Yeah, it is pretty original. I don't think there's many, like, secret hospital for criminal movies out there. Yes, there are movies which have, like, secret organizations for stuff, but in terms of just, like, a secret hotel, I don't really think there's much like this. One thing you should know is there's a lot of swearing, even to a point when I'm like, some of this seems kind of gratuitous. I get that these kind of people would probably swear a lot. In fact, I swear a lot when I'm not on camera. But, no, I get it. I get it, but at the same time, where's that line where you're like, okay, now you're just doing it to try and sound edgy or try and sound cool? So, yeah, there's that. But overall, I can recommend Hotel Artemis very strongly. I'm giving Hotel Artemis a solid 3 Raptor claws out of 4. Yes, the characters aren't incredibly deep. Yes, the plot is kind of predictable. Yes, there's not a lot of background on this stuff. But at the end of the day, you can sit down and watch this movie more than once and still enjoy it. For its creative ideas, amazing set design. I didn't really want to talk about that because you kind of have to see it to understand what I'm talking about. It really draws you in within the first few minutes. It gives you realistic characters with realistic plights. And ultimately, you want to see where it goes. You want to watch it to the end. Especially in today's year, essentially, considering how many superhero movies there will be this year, because there's already been Black Panther, Avengers, Deadpool 2, and there's going to be Spider-Man, Aquaman, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Incredibles 2. I feel like I'm missing one. But close to 10 superhero movies in 1 year, it's nice to have an action movie, or even just a good, solid thriller that is not about superheroes. That's not me knocking superhero movies, but fatigue does happen to some people. And if you don't want to watch something like that, or something like Solo, check out Hotel Artemis. Anyhow, you guys, until next time, this is the Media Raptor saying keep cool, and I will see all you dino dudes around. Later.